The great crocodile, a descendant of the dinosaur, is making a rapid comeback from the edge of extinction. He's returning to old river haunts alongside man's expanding development. A conflict does exist between man and the croc. Since he appears to threaten our enjoyment of the waterways, few people show concern for the crocodile's right to live.
I've been to cities that never closed down, from New York to Rio and old London town. But no matter how far or how wide I roam, I still call Australia home. I'm always traveling, I love being free, and so I keep leaving the sun and the sea. But my heart lies waiting over the foam. I still call Australia home.
Dozens of signs have been placed along our northern rivers to warn of the potential danger. Many are stolen as souvenirs, for the crocodile's return is yet a novelty. Fish scraps lure the croc to the boat ramps and the popular fishing holes. The protection afforded them in 1974 is why there are so many crocodiles around today. The new generations have no cause to fear man. Lurking in any peaceful lagoon, the crocodile is less fearful, but still a foe. It's so easy to ignore the danger. The water is cool and inviting, a crocodile nowhere in sight. Four-wheel drive safaris have opened up the vast wilderness areas of Cape York Peninsula and Arnhem Land. It's a wild and adventurous country. Old-timers never make it a habit to fish or swim in the same place every time. They warn that a crocodile may watch you the first day, come closer on the second, and make up his mind on the third. Peter Reimers stripped and went for a swim in Mission River near Weipa. He often cooled off here after a pig hunt. He didn't notice the tracks of a large 5.7-meter crocodile leading to the water's edge.
On the 25th of April 1975, I was officer in charge of police at Weipa. A report was received that a member of a party of shooters was missing, is believed to have been taken by a crocodile in a river north of Weipa. I detailed my constables to immediately go to the scene. On arrival at the scene of the suspected attack, marks and indications were found that an attack had been made by a crocodile on a human being. Short distance down this creek, the two legs of the victim was found. The crocodile was located in a large waterhole. Arrangements were then made to blow the waterhole to get the crocodile. This was done, and on the crocodile being brought on shore, it was opened, and on opening the crocodile, the remains of the missing shooter was found inside.
At Wild World, Michael Cermak and Barry Hungerford noosed this croc to treat his injuries received under amusing circumstances.
That one didn't hurt. This croc here actually has got a rather colourful past. We got him from, he got caught 2 blocks from the centre of the city in Cairns about a couple of months ago. Young chap was on his way home from a nightclub about 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm not saying he's been drinking, but on his way home he saw a crocodile in a gutter. Couldn't believe it. He thought he was having bad dreams, so he climbed down into a gutter and kicked it. The croc spun around and lashed on his trousers. It didn't bite him, he just shook his leg a little bit and let go. He was lucky too, he's a fair-sized crocodile. He would have given him a fairly good bite. It happened on the Friday the 13th too. But the funny part of it is, these freshwater crocodiles, they don't live anywhere near Cairns. They don't come over the dividing range. So somebody must have caught him out west and took him home. And I imagine his wife wasn't too impressed with it, so they threw him over the back fence. That's how he ended up in the streets of Cairns.
In an amazing aftermath, the Cairns City Council issued the bylaw that crocodiles walking the streets of Cairns without a permit shall be seized and detained. They've lost the keys to the city.
Come on. Come on.
The Weeper attack was the first of 3 fatalities since their protection in 1974. This is a serious setback to the cause for their protection. Each attack raises a conflict of views.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, there's no ifs or buts when it comes to crocodiles in areas where people live or use for recreation purposes. It's our responsibility as a government, and it's the responsibility of the people of Queensland to make sure these areas are very safe for all concerned. So the principle that I've always adopted, that is where we have rogue crocodiles or crocodiles in areas that could be a danger to people, well then we must either trap them, snare them, or if this is impossible, then they will have to be destroyed. But the protection of people comes before the protection of crocodiles.
The Wildlife Preservation Society recognises there is a real need to remove rogue crocodiles that are posing a threat to people. In those sort of situations, we think that the best policy is in fact to remove them either to crocodile parks or to more remote areas where they're not going to pose a danger. But in those remote areas, then I think that really it is up to people to come to terms with crocodiles. Even in the more close areas such as the Daintree River, this is a crocodile habitat, and I think that people just have to learn what are the basic precautions to take in these areas. There have not been a lot of deaths due to crocodiles, and the precautions are really quite elementary. Crocodiles are part of nature, and I think it's up to people to adjust to crocodiles in those sort of areas.
Tourism capitalizes on the croc. Coming up next on No Tears for the Crocodile. Enterprising Tim Howard offers a unique tourist attraction. He takes you on an adventure tour of the Daintree River in his Crocodile Express.
Just keep nice and still. There you go. Now you just watch this fellow, the way he climbs out. Tremendous power of the tail. Very rarely see this. Look at that.
Oh, crumble. When you look at it through
One of the few animals that's come all the way down from virtually prehistoric times with very little evolutionary change. Look at the tail. Gosh, it's in that condition.
It's different.
Turn around and say good day to us.
That's another big one. Good grief.
Lovely colours on that one too. Beautiful bands of colour.
You know, looking through the binoculars, it twice as big.
You can see the slide this one's made to the right when it went in the water. Yeah. Okay, well listen, I'm going to reverse again. Gentlemen up forward, hang on. If you go in there, you've got company.
The tourists love this safe but thrilling encounter. The anticipation, the unexpected on every bend of the river. The majestic Daintree River is alive with abundant flora and fauna. Tim's tourists are made aware of nature at its best. And the joy of seeing a crocodile in the wild so close at hand.
Looking for one about 5 or 6 feet along here now. We may well find often along here someplace. Directly in front of us, about 4 feet out of the water. He probably swam out there at high tide. You see, he's just been sitting there. The water's been going away all day.
Oh, yes.
Just keep an eye on him. He's a real big lad, this fella. Just keep on this course and tip your toe in. See the slide mark to the right quite clearly where it's been in and out a couple of times.
Where that other one came out too.
Now he's made a far bigger slide.
Even the ferry crossing has a natural sideshow.
Just up about 4 feet on the bank there. Nice little Cropp, this guy. He's been coming up and down here since he was a little one. Oh, about 4 years he's been coming up. Leave low.
No, they don't. It's not going to move. I thought he would shoot over the bank. It's not going to move.
Come in, he'll do
Have
it
you sit
now.
there?
Okay, we'll pop over and get a cup of tea now. It should be boiling with a bit of luck.
Absolutely.
Where's the gum leaf?
Hey, listen, just measure that correctly too, eh?
One for the pot.
Yeah, right.
Spot on.
That's a problem. I had to send him to Tenterfield to learn.
Give me a bit of room.
Look out, he's trouble. Look, I wouldn't stand there at all, honestly.
No, I haven't seen it long, sorry.
I haven't seen 30-degree burns for years, have I? No problem. Not a
Well done, sir.
When you actually see them alive on a bank and see them slide down into it, that's a magnificent sight. It really is.
Oh, just so thrilled to see them. It was great. The colour and, you know, the stillness of them.
They look vicious, but they look like they belong here.
They have a right to live here as well as we have to come here and see them.
Frankly, I enjoy showing people that. It's a privilege almost, because these things are inevitably going to be vanishing from the river. There's always this ongoing debate about do the crocodiles have a place in amongst us all. I think from my point of view, the important thing to note is that the crocodiles have always been here. As the ladies were saying, it's just, they're part of the environment. They've been here. The pressure is not the crocodiles moving towards us, it's us moving towards them.
Next word is run.
At Hartley's Creek Zoo, north of Cairns, Gary Zilfleisch entertains the tourists in a circus act where the crocodile has centre ring.
Where is he now? Yeah, he doesn't like me, by the way. Imagine why you can't see a crocodile in the wild. Because they just go under the water, they have the capacity to hold their breath for 45 minutes. And when they grab you, they've got to get you off balance. And the basic thing is that all they can do is roll you over. I'll just get a jaw snap for you, however, to give you an impression of the power that they've got. And when you hear the jaw snap, no, crocodile. And we might even get a roll on the bank today. I don't know. This is very hard to achieve. It's very hard to achieve. And I've got to watch the old girls just behind me. And no, he's not going to do it. If I can get round this way, he might do a roll on the bank for the ladies. Beauty. All right, they even do it on the bank if they're forced to. Now, he's in a tight situation here as well as me. He's got two things to do. He's got babies who are usually down this end guarding. He's got a hold of something he wants to take in the water, so he's got to make a compromise. So I'm going to try and get the meat back off him, and there's only one way, and that's to ask him nicely. And I'm actually going to put my foot on his head. This is not an attempt at bravery, by the way. It's a control situation. I might mention I learnt this trick from a bloke with one leg.
After the show is over, Gary has work to do caring for his crocs. The female must be restrained from defending her nest so Gary can check and see if she's laid her eggs.
That one's busted, so I'll bring them out. I don't want to upset them. If you upset them, they won't hatch.
Ben and Lynn confront feeding crocodiles in the Gulf River, next on No Tears for the Crocodile. The Gulf Rivers are an ideal location for Ben and Lynn in their search for the truth about crocodiles. They wish to judge the conflict in a fair perspective by learning more about the crocodile's natural behavior and the habitat in which they live. Scientists have recorded the Nassau River as the Gulf's most prolific breeding area for crocodiles. Their first sighting is where a croc lay in the mud just moments ago. It must have been a big one. The tracks attest to its size. These wetlands provide an extensive area of suitable habitat for crocodiles. While stocks are declining around the world, Australia has a responsibility to ensure their continued survival. This crocodile clearly shows how its massive bulk out of the water is effectively reduced upon entering the water. Exploring the Nassau River is like stepping back in time. Seems to be how all rivers were before the white man came. Crocodiles have a close relationship with dinosaurs. They are called archosaurs, the last of the ruling reptiles. They grow to a maximum of 7 meters, but a certain extinct form reached a massive 19 meters. That's bigger than the formidable Tyrannosaurus rex. Wading birds are on a crocodile's menu. This one's not too happy about its situation. Well upriver, Ben and Lynn wander into a wilderness area of exotic flowers and prolific wildlife in the freshwater lagoons. Beneath the green waters lurks the timid and harmless freshwater crocodile. It feeds on the insects, frogs, and fish of the Billabong swamp. The Gulf waters are a bountiful provider for the crocodile and for Ben's crew from the Beaver.
Here's one, Lynn.
Oh, he's a beauty.
You come and catch him and I'll distract him.
Oh, sure. Bring him back this way.
I'm trying. Oh, wow, where is he? Right.
Let go of the bag. That's where you're going.
Oh,
Brave.
That was hard, wasn't it, Dean? We'll go and see if we can find another one.
Here he is. See him?
Yep.
A little shark.
Oi!
Oh, wait a minute, it's caught. Right, keep pulling. Come on. Keep pulling. Right, there you are.
He's a bad shark.
A major factor now working against the crocodile survival is the intensity of barramundi fishing. It's believed hundreds are drowned every year in the nets. It's important to understand and appreciate the crocodile's habitat in the mangrove swamp. Mangrove creatures provide the food for their survival. Swarming pilchards are more than just a mouthful. A 3-meter crocodile requires only 2 or 3 kilos of food a week. The head is raised when swallowing to enable the throat valve to open. The tail is raised for balance and as a warning for others to keep clear. Mud skippers and insects are food for the young crocodiles. As they grow larger, the fish, tortoises, wading birds and carrion become their main diet. The flying fox is a delicacy. A crocodile knocks this creature off its perch by thumping the base of the tree with its tail. Crocodiles require very little food because of their slow metabolic rate and their low energy expenditure. In the unspoilt Gulf, their diet is readily obtainable. Rare scenes of a crocodile nesting are coming up next on No Tears for the Crocodile. Crocodiles take 8 or 9 years to reach maturity, and around the month of November, the mating begins. It's always the smaller female who makes the initial advance. December storms herald the approach of the monsoonal rains. The long dry season is now over. He's flicking his third eyelid, the clear membrane used to see underwater. The first rain triggers an instinct in the female. It's time to make her nest. In these rare scenes taken at night, she rakes at the wet earth and grass to form a compact mound. The heat generated by the decomposition of the nest material will incubate her eggs. The egg laying is a private affair. She lays about 50 eggs and then packs down her nest. The wet has begun. It will rain off and on for the next 3 months and change the Gulf River systems into vast lakes. For the film crew on board Beaver, the wet means days of quiet living indoors. Or why not go out in the warm rain and enjoy it? If the rains are too heavy, the flooding may wash away the female's nest. She stands guard day and night. Many other creatures reproduce in the wet. These worms have no head or mouth. They're a spawn sac released by the adult during a precise phase of the moon. Their disintegration releases both egg and sperm to fertilize in the water. The proliferation of bait fish at this time is a link in the food chain which will support the progeny soon to be hatched. But feral pigs take a heavy toll of the nest. They, along with the goannas, excavate and eat some eggs. The female has been waiting and fasting for 80 days. Her babies must be ready now. She scratches at the ground to elicit a response. She's heard their muffled cry. Using snout and claw, she opens the nest to release her young. Ben also waited for days, secluded in a blind, to film this amazing maternal behavior. The babies crack the outer shell with a special tooth on the tip of the snout. The final escape is easier. The hatchlings form into creches, still protected by their mother. Their survival rate is now high. Adult crocodiles do not eat their young, but they will chase them from their territory once they've grown a meter or so. The tourists on the Crocodile Express felt the crocodile belonged here in the Daintree River. The conflict seems to exist because we are moving toward them. Homes and roads now encroach the riverbanks. The growing number of crocodiles have an uncertain future. One wrong move, an aggressive lunge at an annoying boat, and that crocodile will be classified a rogue, to be shot or captured for a zoo. A tranquil river with a lot of people and a lot of crocs, the peace is bound to be shattered soon. However, the crocodile basking every day beside the ferry crossing exemplifies a growing understanding in people nowadays. They are realizing we have to share the river with these reptiles. Blood brother to a crocodile is next on No Tears for the Crocodile. Aborigines have always revered the crocodile. Their Dreamtime legends tell of crocodiles possessing the ability to change into human forms. The old man's tribal scars are said to imitate the ridges on the hide of the crocodile. Ben was told a Dreamtime story to explain crocodile paintings found in a cave.
We were looking for you all around. Don't get cranky. You must not get wild. You just lie down. White people were looking for you, and they speared you one duck. You came to this cave to hiding. It was big trouble. Your knee got too tired and you had to lie down here. and so you are painted on this cave. You call yourself one duck.
The Aborigines of Edward River prepare themselves for an important initiation. William Charlie, who owns this place, is about to become a blood brother to a crocodile. This is William Charlie's story. In the old days, there was a powerful freshwater man who cruelly ruled the natives living near his swamp. They went down to the mouth of the Edward River and asked the strong saltwater man to help free them from this tyrant. The two met, and there was a terrible fight. The saltwater man won, but when he lay down to sleep, he was speared in the side. The chanting natives carried the wounded man to the mouth of the river, where he crawled to the water's edge. As he slid into the sea, he changed into a crocodile and swam away. William Charlie reenacts this legend using a young crocodile. Being a blood brother is important, for the legend says that crocodile became the guardian of the tribe. William Charlie believes his blood brother will grow into the guardian crocodile of his people. These people of the sea have little fear of the crocodile because they have found ways to live with it and to share the same food. They have seen that the removal of this predator seems to create an imbalance with the larger fish. It's known, but not understood why, that in rivers where crocodiles are plentiful, the barramundi fishing is also good. Lloyd Grigg once made his living by shooting and skinning crocs. His attitude is different today.
Yes, around about 1950 to 54, two partners and myself came up north to shoot crocodiles, more or less as a sporting venture. But we started to get that many that it turned out to be a business venture. We used to shoot about 500 a season, mainly at night. In those days it was cooler and easier to approach a crocodile by a spotlight. We used to shoot as many as 10 a night, which was adequate for skinning the next day and prepare your gear for the next night's shooting. I'd like to see the crocodile continue to be protected. I'm all for conservation up to a point. There are a few of the big man-eaters now starting to travel, and they're liable to be in any river along a cape. I think these crocodiles should be snared and put into a zoo or a farm whereby the stock can be carried on.
Come on, come on, come on.
George Craig shot crocodiles by the hundreds and then changed to capturing them alive for his Green Island marine land.
This reptile's 17 feet plus and was caught in the Fly River in 1967. It was a reputed man-eater, and when I did finally catch it, it was the people in the area were very relieved indeed. As far as I know, he's the largest in captivity in the world. To kill a croc means nothing to me. There again, if I keep a croc, even if I keep it for a day, I feel responsible for it, so I'd look after it, and that's okay. I'd feel completely different if I was killing furry animals or anything like that, buffalo, and I've killed a few of those in my time too. I used to just shoot one a week for food and bait, and it always used to upset me. A croc is different. He kills, and he be killed or be killed. I don't know how to explain that one, but hey, come on, up, come on.
No crocodile is more bold than a nesting female. We see this happen next on No Tears for the Crocodile. Ranching crocodiles is a federal government project at Edward River to benefit the local Aborigines. Beneath these benign lagoon waters lurk 90 breeding females and 15 happy males. They show themselves every Thursday when the food truck moves in. The farm began in 1973 with 400 hatchlings caught in the wild. Today, the second generation, those which were bred on the farm, have now grown into mature breeders. They are not big eaters. These 105 large crocs consume only 400 kilos of meat each week. There's plenty of blood and guts here, but it's not by a conflict between man and the croc. No one has been bitten. The workers show an incredible casualness towards these formidable animals.
Come on.
This is Don Morris, one of the two white overseers.
Here, come on. Here, have a go. Come on, that's it. I suppose this place is just like any other farm. It's just farming animals, feeding them and looking after them. That's about all it is. With these animals, you don't get too close, unless you really have to, unless you've got to handle them, which we do with ropes and nooses and a few men. You don't get too close to the water because you might be able to see them, but they can see you. But, they're pretty well fed, and we try and keep them that way.
Don and Stuart Mowat love their adventurous work. On weekends, they go out in the wild on pig hunts to replenish food for the crocs. Every week, 24 wild pigs and several bullocks must be shot to feed the farm. The 10 Aboriginal workers spend hours every day cutting this up into edible pieces. There are over 1,600 crocodiles in various pens on the farm. The 900 in this pen become one solid wriggling mass when the food appears. These are the skinners, 2-meter crocs, destined for adorning handbags and shoes.
Watch it, watch it.
Now that one's all tied up, but there's still another dozen to be noosed on this skinning day. It's a trial shipment, for the government is yet to grant an export license. This skin is worth $130, a viable export industry for the Aborigines. Eddie Holroyd lives dangerously. His job is to remove the nesting female so that Don can check if she's laid her eggs.
Here, and you can see where she's been over here.
The probing saves time, for it's not a safe place to stay too long.
Anyway, have a peek in here and have a bit of a look. Ah, yeah? There you go. See down in there, you can see them down in there. Oh yeah, they look alright too. Alright. Hey, look out, here she comes. Oh well, we'll have to come back after and get that. Start over the top, mate.
Eddie's aggressive tactics really work. Don knows that a female only charges to protect her nest. If you run away fast, she will stop. No one's been caught yet to know what she really would do. It's believed the croc would go into a death roll and probably tear your leg off. Don feels that the only defense left then is to shove a stick down its throat to open the valve. The crocodile won't drag you underwater then for fear of its own drowning. Now, they don't eat much anyway.
Too bad at all. Excellent.
The nest has produced 52 eggs. That's about the average.
What 52? Eggs. 52 eggs, isn't it? Oh, okay. Yeah.
The eggs will lie in a precisely heated incubator for the required 80-odd days. Don's tapping simulates the mother's scratching signal we saw earlier.
Just start to push its way out.
As a surrogate mother, he helps an average of 25 hatchlings to emerge from each egg batch.
There he comes. He's coming whether we like it or not.
1,000 have been hatched this year. 2,000 more are expected next year. The farm population is rapidly multiplying. After 3 weeks of settling down, the newborn are measured and tagged.
315.
Now it's out to the protection of the nursery, where they will grow into a marketable size. Some will be chosen as future breeders. On Ben and Lynn's long stay in the Gulf, their floating home lay right among the crocs. Beaver's lamps spotlight the red glow of many eyes watching them at night.
Okay, Rick.
Conflict does exist because we have infiltrated the crocodile's habitat. The problem can only get worse unless we understand his role and are prepared to share the rivers with him. He's not really a threat. Attacks are still rare. The ultimate value of the crocodile lies not in its belly hide nor as a tourist attraction, but simply because he is a crocodile, big and ancient and grotesquely magnificent.